This is a STRATCOM info summary for the past week. Last week, Russian terrorists continued shelling peaceful Ukrainian towns and villages. Many civilians were killed and wounded. Apartment blocks, private houses and civil infrastructure were destroyed. On Thursday afternoon, Russia launched a ballistic missile at the humanitarian workers who were demining an area near Chernihiv. 2 people were killed, 8 were wounded. The Danish Refugee Council reported that at the moment of the strike, its staff were carrying out civil humanitarian activities to restore safe access to infrastructure, farmlands and housing. The Council stated that this attack on a humanitarian operation is a serious violation of international humanitarian law. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine published footage from the village Udachne in Dnipro region, refuting Russian claims about its alleged capture. On the video, the warriors of the 46th Separate Air Mobile Podil Brigade are holding the Ukrainian flag in the village Udachne. In addition, the General Staff reported that a assault group of the 400-25th Regiment Skelya liberated the settlements Udachne and Novoekonomichne in the Pokrovsk direction in Donetsk region. All enemy strongholds there were destroyed, and Ukrainian flags are flying over the settlements. In August alone, Russian losses in manpower amounted to 28,790 people. This was announced by the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, General Alexander Syrsky. He also thanked Ukrainian soldiers for their professionalism. In total, in the first 8 months of the year, Russia has lost almost 300,000 troops. This equals the destruction of 3 full combined arms armies. This week in Paris, the meeting of the Coalition of the Willing took place. Each country expressed readiness to contribute Ukraine's security guarantees. According to the Office of the President of Ukraine, 26 countries agreed to provide guarantees. However, President Zelensky underlined that the central element is and will remain a strong Ukrainian army. He and other European leaders also discussed with the United States President the path to real peace and protection of Ukraine's sky. They also talked about the sanctions package that could deprive Russia of the ability to finance the war. Estonia is ready to participate in purchasing United States-made weapons for Ukraine and also to send a military contingent if approved by the Coalition of the Willing. This was reported by Ukrinform, quoting Estonian President Ala Karis. He added that Estonia actively cooperates with Ukraine's defense industry. Earlier, President Zelensky stated that Ukraine expects to accumulate at least $1 billion monthly through the United States weapons purchase program. The defense forces are creating a layered system of countering enemy drones, Shaheds and Gerans. The common task now is to form more crews, train more drone hunters and provide them with effective weapons and radars. This was stated by the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, General Syrsky, during a meeting dedicated to drone defense. Reports were heard of the effectiveness of Ukrainian interceptor drones and supplies of different UAV types. They also discussed how to improve the fight against enemy strike and reconnaissance drones. This week, the Special Unit Primare of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine struck the Russian air base in Gvardiiske, Crimea. 2 Mi-8 helicopters were hit. Also in Sevastopol Bay, the tugboat Buk 2190 was probably damaged. It belongs to the so-called Russian underwater sabotage forces. Before that, the same unit hit a number of important Russian air defense objects, among them radar system Auto-ST, radio telescope RT-70 and GLONASS complex. These targets played a significant role in the Russian allied air defense. In addition, the Defense Intelligence published footage of an August operation in which Ukrainian forces successfully struck Russian targets in the Black Sea. They destroyed an enemy boat BL-6080, Harpoon B radar and Rosa electronic warfare system. And the Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine destroyed a radar system of the C-300 air defense complex at a military airfield in Sake, Crimea. We Will Prevail, produced by the main communications directorate of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine!